I didn't go to the university to just get a certificate. I went to the university to. But we have a group of people who focus only about my first class, my second class, and that's all. At the end of the day, they will leave university with just a certificate. And so if they don't get a job, if you look at our educational sector, the last time I went to school, 20 years or 30 years, that same curriculum is what we are still using now. So if you go to school, they are teaching us matter. School is not a scam. Education is not a scam.
So it boils down to you, the individual.
Because when I came there, I had that change of mindset, environment. This kind of environment, they form part of us unknowingly.
Yeah.
If you tell the average young person that you can become the next Dangote, the person will laugh. Because, Charlie, I can't know what.
Where is the root?
The root is leadership.
Leadership.
Because
I want to ask you a very difficult question. Do you believe that Africa is producing more politicians than leaders?
we are having a lot of leaders occupying positions that they can do better with the youth, but they are not doing it. Then I realized that immediately Jude Michelle won, people started posting, hailing her. Oh, you are this woman king. I said, no, Jude, you have to understand that the people that are hailing you today.
You've been an SRC vice president for KNUST. What are some of the legacies that you left behind for the student body of KNUST?
Yeah, so
we'll be talking about your passion for young people and the younger generation and the reason behind this whole event that you are organizing for the young ones. Before that, who is Clinton Osei Addo?
Clinton Osei Addo is someone, a young guy like you, who was once disadvantaged in some way. I mean, exposure and all that. We didn't get all those things.
I don't want to cut you off your submission and your introduction, but you said something that really struck me about the fact that you were disadvantaged. Could you please elaborate more on that?
Disadvantage as in I lost my father at a very younger age. Sometimes when I tell people that I've sold certain things, in Accra, the streets of Accra, people find it difficult to believe.
After you lost your dad?
After I lost my dad, when I was in the SHS, I was selling Indomie at Kolebu, the hospital area. And we will start, sales at 5 p.m. and then we'll close like 12 a.m. and I have to go to school the following day. Things were not that smooth. So at a point, someone paid for my fees throughout the whole university. My parents didn't have the capacity to do that. It was just my mom, just a trader. She didn't have the capacity to do that. Wow. Someone paid for my fees, everything when I was in the university. Until now, the person is still paying for, certain things that I'm doing.
So it means that on the journey, the disadvantage became
my advantage. And I built upon that, and I'm making sure, because it's still in the process, I'm making sure that people who once were like me, people who are in a place who are in the same path that I was, why don't I create platform for the man that met me and brought me to where I am today, for them to also not meet their helpers as well. So platform like this, we are bringing big men, we are bringing big women, people making exploits. Maybe somewhere, someone will meet his or her helper there. Because it happened to me. I had the opportunity, but someone is still out there who has not gotten that same opportunity. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Probably that person is even more intelligent
than me,
has more potential than you.
Than me. And that person can do more for Africa, for Ghana, for their community, more than what I'm doing. But lack of exposure is putting the person there. And we are just creating exposure. It's all about exposure, giving young people exposure. We young people, we are consuming what we are exposed to. That is why I find it so, disheartening when I see young women doing exploits and they are keeping that to themselves without coming out to tell the younger women or younger ladies and younger girls that, hey, you can also get to this place. Someone, as I said earlier, someone with no dad, mom wasn't working and all that. I mean, disadvantage. But I always say that we are not where we are, but we thank God that we are not where we used to be.
Okay.
So I may not be where I am today, but I thank God that I am not at where I used to be. And some people are also at where I used to be. And what can I do to bring them from that place? What can I do to bring them from that dungeon? That is what my vision entails. Bringing young people and telling them that, look, your background is not your final destination. You know, background is just two words, back and ground. You understand? It's just two words, back and ground. Your back is on the ground. Why don't you rise up? So you need someone to tell you that, hey, it is just your back on the ground. Rise up. It is possible. There is more ahead of you. There's more that you can do. There is more potentials hidden in you. God has entrusted so much vision in us. And you see, that is what we have to tell the young people.
Wow.
That your life is not only about you. Your life is for others. Impact goes beyond
That's true.
yourself. Vision goes beyond yourself.
From losing your dad to selling Indomie at a tender age, going through university life and somebody picking you up to pay for your fees and all of that. It means that there's a backstory to your journey.
Exactly.
And today, you are here to inspire the younger generation.
Exactly.
That regardless of your background, it is still possible for you to become the version that you have dreamed to become.
Exactly.
That brings me to my next question. Why are you so passionate about the younger generation? And why the vision AYLS?
So statistically, when we wanted to embark on this whole initiative, we did some little statistics and realized that around 36.8% of Ghana's population now is young people from the age of 15 to 35.
Wow.
It should tell you that we have the sharp minds. We have the potentials. We have the people who can change the course of Ghana and Africa.
Wow.
But one thing that we lack is that we are finding it difficult to show them the way. Those who are, I mean, there is a saying that who you know will make you known, and those who know rule over those who don't know. So, if you don't tell the young people that this is the path, if you don't tell the young people that this is how the reality is, this is how the entrepreneurship world is, this is how some sectors are, let's make it known to them, let's make it known to young people. I don't think we can be able to compete with the people out there. No. Because we cannot criticize a generation that we've not taught them how to do or what they should do. We have a generation that are criticizing young people, youths, hey, my say, but we are not telling them what to do. So we are confused. I tell you, Lee, we are confused.
Yeah, we are confused, yeah.
Young people, we are confused. And that is why we are bringing this initiative, that it will become a platform where Africans will come together, have dialogue, talk about policies, talk about what leadership is, talk about what business is, what we are supposed to do as young people. Show us the way. God, there's no one showing us the way. Lee. Yeah, bro.
Wow.
Yeah, bro. We are confused. And the people who are doing that is just few. And that is why people like you has taken this upon themselves to create platforms like this University of Life, where you are going to champion advocacies, tell the young people what they have to do, how they have to do things, and become better version of themselves. That is all we are doing.
So when the idea came for you to channel your energy into helping the youth to be in a platform or an auditorium where leaders who have been through the mill, who have gone through the phases of life, have so much experience to share with us, what were some of the fundamental flaws you saw? What are the things that are missing in this generation, especially the younger generation?
You know, one of the things that are missing in this our younger generation is what I call Now I have a theory. It's called the P.E.N theory.
Okay.
P.E.N. Now, P stands for parental influence. Lee. Once a time, sometimes they say certain things to you, they tell you certain things, they call you certain names, and the moment you grow up, you feel like what my mother was telling me has become part of my life. To my mom say, hey, what do you mommy, today I became first in class. What made me first? So their words, their influence became part of our life. And that exposure has dampened our spirit.
Wow. Product of words.
So it is very, 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 very difficult for a young person coming from that sort of influence to become someone great.
Wow.
That is the P. And then the E is environment. Look, Lee, the reason why Africa is Africa and I mean, let's say Ghana is Ghana and US is US is because of the atmosphere and because of the environment. If you know, I had the privilege to, join someone in a flight. The moment the person landed to Ghana, he said, the atmosphere even tells you that, Charlie, wamba. You know, the moment you see Kumasi, the building and all, he said, Charlie, wamba fie. But the moment you leave Ghana to some country and you see the atmosphere, you know that there is some level of atmosphere you've entered, environment. And this kind of environment, they form part of us unknowingly.
Yeah.
That is why even in SHS, when you tell someone that I want to become a billionaire, because now you say, how can you become a billionaire? They'll begin to laugh at you. It's the environment, and it has engulfed us that we cannot explore. That is why Obiko USA, because what he's seeing and what the person is seeing in Ghana is totally different. And that is why the people there are making exploits, because they go to where they are manufacturing cars, school, they'll go to a trip there. They know how BMW is doing things. They know how they are fixing that. They know that what goes into production of, the whole process of fixing of a car, or inventing a car. So these people, they've seen the reality. They've experienced it. But now, nothing at board. You say car no tie, bring the tie here. Accelerator, do the step here. There's no practicality. There's no exposure. The N, which is the next one, is the nation. You see, you cannot do more than your nation. If your nation has been programmed for young people, giving young people opportunity to excel, we will excel. But if the nation that you are living in has not created that avenue to embrace young people, to embrace young ideas, to embrace fresh minds and all that, it is going to automatically affect you.
That's true.
We are not exposed. The lack of exposure is too much that if you tell the average young person that you can become the next Dangote, the person will laugh, because how can I become like Dangote? Forgetting that they all started like us. If you tell them that you become the next despite, they will laugh. Because, Charlie,
where is the root, and how do we tap the root?
The root is leadership.
Leadership.
Because if we don't grow to understand that leadership is responsibility, we'll miss a lot. We are having a lot of leaders occupying positions that they can do better with the youth, but they are not doing it. We are having leaders who can serve as mentors for young people. Leaders who can bring up policies that are going to, engineer and reorient the mindset of young people. But they are not doing it. And at the end of the day, the repercussion is coming on us as a nation and as a continent. So, I don't want to mention some people's names, but you know what is going on.
I understand where you're coming from.
You know what it is? Leadership. Everything boils down to leadership. We always say that, young people, we are the future. We are the future. Delay and so time and so on. And it has become so part of us that what a young person can do to make sure that the work is being done effectively, and then now what that person is doing is, it's opposite to the office that he had been called to. And so we can do it, the young people can do it, but they are not giving us the opportunity to do what we are supposed to do. And at the end of the day, the older generation are doing it, and they are not exposed to a lot of things. They are not exposed to how the world is going now. They are not exposed to the trend. And so what the archaic way of doing things is what we are also, learning. If you look at our educational sector, Lee, the last time I went to school, 20 years or 30 years, that same curriculum is what we are still using now. So if you go to school, they are teaching us matter. If you go to school, they are teaching us part of mosquitoes. If you go to school, they are teaching us amoeba. If you go to, they are teaching us a whole lot of it. But the life experience will not throw mosquito at you. The life, the real life that we are supposed to live, and yeah, amoeba life, Lee. It is some level of things that we are lacking, and that boils down to leadership.
Yeah.
Because if we are changing the curriculum and making sure that we are globally, we are aligning our curriculum to that, do you think that we cannot become so exceptional?
Wow.
We can.
We can. And then
it's leadership.
Once our attention is focused on the youth, then it means that leadership is also something that we need to pay attention to.
Exactly.
I want to ask you a very difficult question. Do you believe that Africa is producing more politicians than leaders?
Exactly. I believe Africa is producing more politicians than leaders. Now, a politician is someone who sees a problem and address the problem in favor of that political party. A leader is someone who sees a problem and address the problem as is so demanded of that person. Wow. So if I'm a politician and I see that if I build this school, MPP is going to take the glory, I'm not going to do it. The young kids are there sitting under the tree in Suoba, and all that. But if I do it, my political party is going to lose. It's going to showcase the other political party. So let's leave it there and criticize that political party that, hey, but that person can also, in his capacity, do that and make sure that lives are being transformed there. But he's not going to do that. A leader is someone who will see it and say, look, lives are at stake. People's lives are at stake. Let me do something about it. Let me make sure that that problem is solved. And if you look at a trend now in Africa, that is what is happening. If I see a problem, I think about it. This problem, do I have any interest in what I'm going to do? If no, then let me stop. And indirectly, it's on the part of political lane. It adds up to that. Wow. And we have to change that narrative. We have to tell the young people that some of them, they don't even know that this thing that I'm doing is indirectly becoming part of me, and it's indirectly affecting a whole generation. And so I have to desist from that. They don't know. They don't know what they are doing is wrong. It takes you and I to tell them that this is a way of a politician. This is a way of a leader. If we want to be that change makers that we want to be, or we dream of becoming, we should follow this trend, not that trend. And I tell you, we're going to have a successful, nation and a continent at large.
Wow. In our part of the world, Africa, as you said earlier, leadership and our mindset. So our conversation is going to be around leadership, purpose, mindset, and vision.
That's fine.
You've been an SRC vice president for KNUST somewhere in 2023.
Yeah.
What are some of the legacies that you left behind for the student body of KNUST?
Yeah, so one thing that I always understand is that, as I said earlier, leadership is solving a problem. And when I went to the university, initially I didn't know anything about SRC, student politics and all that. I didn't even have interest in that. You know, I'm from Kumasi, going to Obuasi, the surrounding. It will interest you to know that when I was even selecting KNUST, I thought I was selecting main campus, not knowing that it was Obuasi campus. So I didn't even know that there was a campus called Obuasi campus.
Wow.
And I just, somehow I got there, and I needed to adapt. I needed to, have a flow of how things are going, adapt myself. And one of my greatest mentors in my student leadership journey, he's called Martin. He was the president. He reached out to me and told me that, Clint, there is something in you. You can become an SRC president. You can occupy a portfolio in this school. Let's give it a try. I consulted some people. I spoke to some people. I said, okay, let's go. So I came in the picture like 2 months ago to the election. And I can boldly say that the winning of that election was so dependent on me that immediately I stepped in, things were changing. People were trooping in, voting for us and all that. Reason being that I started solving a problem before even that title came about. So when I got to level 200, I started visiting school. I started doing school empowerment, empowering young people. I started going to SHS, speaking to people about, leadership. I started empowering them to become better version of themselves. And not knowing that the students are seeing what I'm doing. They are noticing what I'm doing. And so when I came in the picture, the winning became so obvious that automatically we are going to win this contest. Now, one thing that I always say is that sometimes you might do certain things that you might think that people are not really watching you, but they are really watching you. When I started doing all this, I thought it was just fulfillment. I was just doing something that every young person is supposed to do. You came to school to learn. Why are you using this little amount of money you have to buy books, share to students? Then I realized that impact is only when you've been able to contribute meaningfully to people's life.
Exactly, absolutely.
If we say we are young people, if we say we are leaders, if we say we are SRC president and all that, it is not actually the office that you are occupying. But it's the life that you are able to impact. Now, let me share this. I think I've not shared this anywhere on all the places that I've been. This is the first time I'm sharing this. When I became the SRC president, the SRC vice president, there was one student that came to school, and the student approached me that, look, I just came to school. I had admission. I'm coming all the way from, how do we call it? Techiman. I came here. That student was not even having an admission fee. Not even admission fee, to talk of school fees. So I just came to try my luck whether, I'll see people and I'll speak to them for them to, come to my aid. I met this student and I was like, such audacity, such confidence. You didn't have money, you didn't have anyone. Parents are farmers and all that. You just came to the school with that level of confidence. Then we have to do something to help. We spoke to some of the authorities. They couldn't be of help. I took it upon myself. I spoke to some agencies. I spoke to some firms. They were able to come together, gather money, and now the guy is in school.
Wow.
I didn't do that because I was the SRC president. I did that because there was a problem that I have to solve. I did that because there was a young guy who wants to achieve a vision, who wants to be in the university, and I have to be of help and make sure that that guy is able to school well. And so I always say it comes with responsibility, not just a title. And through that, I had a recognition from the Vice Chancellor. And I was the outstanding student leader during my administration.
Wow.
I was awarded as the outstanding student leader for KNUST at Great Hall.
Wow.
And I take pride in that at least I've been able to impact someone's life. I've been able to contribute meaningfully to someone's life. I've been able to solve a problem that someone thought it was over. So I have a mantra that I always go with. There is still hope regardless. Any person that I meet, my actions should tell the person that what you are going through, there is hope. If you feel like giving up, whenever you meet me and I begin to talk to you, you should have that kind of, change mindset that what you are going through is just a starting point. So I always say something that your background is just a starting point, not your final destination. So what you are going through, if you meet me, I should be able to communicate that kind of level of hope that what you are going through, if you have that right mindset, right titulate, you should be able to go through that. And that is me. And over the years, it has been so awesome, and still God is still helping us through the journey as well.
Recently, I saw a post that you wrote on Facebook sharing some nuggets of advice to the current SRC president of KNUST, Jude Michel.
Yeah, Jude Michel. One thing that I believe in is that, people are moved by resource.
Okay.
When you are having resource, you are having resource in what you are doing, you attract people. People start applauding you, giving you all the accolades, calling you for interview and all that. But one mistake can make people forget all what they praised you for. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get you.
You started giving people money, started taking care of people during their education and all that. But that your one mistake can let people forget about all what you did for them. That was the same thing that happened to Yvonne.
Okay.
During her administration. When she was coming, she was the first female SRC vice president. She was all over. People were calling her for interview here and there. People were posting because she's on top and all that. When things began to go sideways, she was not coming in the picture again, maybe due to leadership problem, maybe due to one or two things, criticism started coming. To a point that it even deprived some women who wanted to contest for the SRC portfolio. Due to one person's inability to produce results, resulted in a whole generation, a whole generation of young leaders who wanted to contest for SRC president because people were like, oh, she couldn't deliver. Why should we trust Jude Michel and all that? Then I realized that immediately Jude Michel won. People started posting, hailing her. Oh, you are this. Woman came. I said, no, Jude. You have to understand that the people that are hailing you today, they are interested in the results. So don't be so in tune with the kind of accolades that are coming. Focus on the job. Because you are there to change a narrative that every young lady on the land of KNUST can also become a president. Definitely. One day. If you mess up with this administration, it's going to affect a whole generation.
Wow.
Because first came, somehow, things didn't go well. So our advice was that, enjoy the applause. Enjoy the accolades. But right after that, go back to the work.
Wow.
Make sure that the reason why they voted for we are seeing that result. Make sure that you know that there is a necessity laid on you that I have to make sure that I change the narrative. That every young girl who is out there can also one day become an SRC president. At the end of the day, your actions will speak louder than your words.
Wow. If there is something that, if you had the opportunity to change about the youth of this country, what would it be?
Wow. I believe that mindset is one of the biggest platform that can determine a person's, whether a person will be successful or not. the only limitation to us as young people is our mind. Because your mindset will determine how far you go in life. Now, I have this rule that when we talk about mindset, I always relate mindset to a mathematical set. You see, in a mathematical set, we have an eraser in it, we have a pencil, pair of compass and all that. It makes up the set. I mean, it becomes a set, mathematical set. So with the mindset, there are some tools that you need in order to make sure that your mind is set. Now, that is where, we talk about fixed mindset, growth mindset, and all that. Now, there are certain things that if you see great men doing, there is a level of mindset that they are working with that is helping them to become that person who they are today. If you see someone excelling in business, there is a level of mindset pushing the person. If you see someone excelling in leadership, there is a mindset pushing that person. So therefore, if I have the privilege to change young people there or to tell them one thing that they should work on is their mindset. Because I believe that if they are able to have a good and a positive mindset in everything that they are doing today in this our generation, it can go a long way to affect their life. If they have a negative mindset too, at the end of the day, they are going to have the bad repercussions and all that are going to come on them. And that is what we are seeing now.
Yeah.
People no longer believe in themselves again. I tell you, Lee. If you come to campus and you tell this person that, you can become this, you can become that, they think it's just a fallacy. Forgetting that those people that are occupying those positions, it took some level of determination. It took some level of never giving up spirit for them to get there. But we see them as, they are there because they had the privilege. They are there because they didn't really put in any work. No. They are there because they did something. And that is what they are not teaching us. And that is what they are not telling us.
Oh.
What kind of ingredients added up to their life when they were young people? What were they doing that was so exceptional that they are not telling us? I believe that mindset is one of the biggest platforms that can, contribute to your growth if only you are able to channel it right to everything that you are doing. I tell you, Louis, we are going to produce great men and women out there. And I'm solely an advocate for that.
Oh.
I'm an advocate for that. If you want to change a nation, change their mindset. You cannot talk about young people if you've not experienced what they are going through. The reason why you are doing that podcast, the reason why you've bought all the cameras and all these, preaching about mindset, preaching about positivity and all that is because once upon a time you became a victim of negative mindsets.
Yeah.
You are trying to tell the young people that I was once like this and now due to this and this and that I am here. You are speaking from a lifestyle. You've experienced something that you want them to know that the people going through this can also come out of that. And so me, for instance, I had experienced some level of mindset that somehow it didn't help me. And so if through some people's mentorship, I've been able to expose to certain kind of, positive mindset and certain kind of truth, why don't I advocate for the people who are also going through that for them to come out? Do you understand? And that is what most of we, the young people, are facing now.
Your journey in the university, did it shape your mindset in any way?
Yes. As I said earlier, I am coming from a place where success is very real.
It's very rare.
Yeah, rare.
Yeah, okay.
And coming from a place like that where sometimes you wish that you have people to talk to for them to give you some guidance about life. You have people to talk to for them to even give you some guidance, as in the course to even selecting the university was a problem. That was the background that I was coming from. And let me chip in this. I never wanted to be. I studied engineering in the university. At first, I wanted to be a medical doctor, and I remember when I was going for my clearance from my SHS school, because I had an interview in the School of Medicine for the following day. I had an interview. On my way coming back, I had an accident at Ajuso. And so my left leg wasn't really functioning. I wasn't really able to walk and all that. And interestingly, I still went for the interview. I needed to sleep over and then prepare. The following morning, the thing became so severe that I couldn't even walk. But I was still trying my best to go for the interview. And unfortunately, I didn't qualify.
Wow.
I came to Obuasi campus, engineering, geomatic engineering. I didn't even know about the course. I didn't even know about anything. But I just wanted to be in the university. I came, I did it. I completed with engineering. I said, okay, no, there is now, let me focus on what I want to do. I delve into, I moved from the engineering and then now studying law. I can say that university has really helped me. Now, when we talk about university, it's a universal platform. People go to university just to get a certificate. But me, I didn't go to university to just get a certificate. But I didn't go to the university to just get a certificate. I went to the university to get more of it. Public speaking can be learned from the university. Good networking can be learned from the university. Starting initiative like what I'm doing and all that can be learned from the university. But we have a group of people who focus only about my first class, my second class, and that's all. At the end of the day, they will leave university with nothing, just a certificate. Wow. And so if they don't get a job, it means their life has come to a standstill.
And but that is where they are going to speak ill of university.
Exactly. They will tell you that school is a scam and all that. School is not a scam. Education is not a scam.
So it boils down to you, the individual.
Because when I came there, I had that change of mindset. That, look, it's a universal platform. And I tell you that coming to University of Obuasi campus, I've gotten the privilege to meet some people. Network with some people. Gotten the privilege to enter into some offices and all that. Not with my certificate, but with my leadership skill.
Wow.
Those are some of the ingredients that young people should know, that as I'm going to the university, I have to make sure that before I leave the university, there are some soft skills that I have to go with. I didn't go for certificate too. So it has shaped my whole life. University has shaped my whole life. I tell you that if not for university, maybe I wouldn't have been here. And if I had gone to do the medicine and all that, maybe I wouldn't be pioneering all these kind of African Young Leaders Summits and all that. No. But sometimes God will intentionally display your movements. God will distort your path for something great. I will say God distorted my path some way, somehow. Engineering and all that. But he had a plan. The plan is that someday it's coming that you are going to get the opportunity to engage with young people. And you tell them that, look, your background is just your starting point.
Wow.
Not your final destination. Wow. And so, Lee, it has really shaped me.
Thank you so much, Clinton, for coming. What is the full name for AYLS?
Right. So thank you so much for this opportunity. It's all about AYLS.
Okay.
And when we talk about AYLS, it's African Young Leaders Summit. The theme for this year's summit is The Future is Now, Developing African Next Generation of Leaders and Policy Makers. Africa is one continent that is having leadership problem. And you being in that sector for long, you know what I'm trying to say. We are producing, there are leaders out there that some way, somehow, things that they are doing does not relate with the word leadership. And so if you don't really take our time to groom the next generation that are coming, that look, leadership goes beyond title, leadership goes beyond, an office, or leadership even goes beyond a portfolio, but it comes with responsibility. If we don't intentionally develop that generation to understand this concept, I tell you that we are going to lose or risk a whole generation. So this program is basically a platform to groom young people, to tell them that leadership comes with responsibility, and Africa, the next generation of Africa depends on the youth, and we have to rise up today and take up certain responsibilities and back on certain rules in order to become better version of ourselves, to embrace the opportunities that are coming for Africa some years to come. So basically, that is AYLS, a platform to groom young people, a platform that young people can have a feel of leadership, not in a theoretical means. When we go to classrooms or we go to conferences, we have people that are lecturing about leadership, but the practicality aspect has been left out. And so this platform has been created where young people would understand the word leadership. Young people understand that, it is basically not the title. It's basically not how people see me or the kind of respect that people should accord me with, but it is a problem that we are being called to solve. And the moment we get this concept right, I believe Africa will be able to get to where we want to get to. So basically, that is AYLS.
Why should anyone attend AYLS?
So AYLS, we are focusing on 3 categories of people. We are focusing on young leaders, we are focusing on entrepreneurs, and we are focusing on change makers. Now, young leaders, we are targeting young people in leadership, in schools, who are, occupying leadership portfolios in schools and all that. Now, today, when we talk about leaders, people say, I'm not a school prefect, so I'm not a leader. Forgetting that in your house, you're a leader.
Yeah.
Because if you have a younger sibling and you are older than that person, you are leading that younger sibling. So it makes you a leader. So why don't you come and then have the right way of leading so that you can replicate it when you go back? That is student leader or young leaders. And we are talking about entrepreneurs, people who are into business or people who want to start business but they don't know how. So we have one of the youngest man on our panelist, or who is part of our panelists. He's into real estate and he's doing so well in the real estate sector. So if you are someone who also want to do well in that sector, come meet them, connect, let them show you how they were able to become so mighty in that sector. Then you follow suit. And then thirdly, we are talking about change makers. Change makers are people who want to contribute change in the community. They want to advocate for something. So you are there, you've seen people starting foundation, leading initiatives and all that, and you feel like this is my thing. I have to do it and I can do it. Come, we are bringing people who are leading organization, leading foundation, leading, and they are doing so well. Come and let's network with them. Let's hear from them how they are doing it. And there are some opportunities out there that we don't know. So you see someone started a foundation and the person will be like, I don't even have the money to start this foundation. There are some organizations out there that are also giving money for people who wants to even start foundation, but we don't know. We are bringing all those people on board. Come and ask the question. Come and hear from them. Network with them. If you want to start any initiative, you contact them. They'll sort you out financially and all that. So basically, those are the 3 people that we are targeting for African Young Leaders Summit 2026. And this is the first edition as well. Yeah.
Wow. So,
and a lot is going into that.
A lot. I've been seeing the behind the scenes and all of that. The venue is
St. Thomas Social Center,
Obuasi.
Yeah.
Wow. Which is coming up on the 22nd of August. This month. I don't know when this podcast is going to be released, but if it comes before the event, how do people register to be a part of the event?
Well, I know the link is going to be part of this video, so you go to www.klintinspiresafrica.com. The link is there. You just open it and then you fill the details as well.
Okay.
www.klintinspires.com. Yeah.
Are you open to sponsorship or any collaborations?
yeah.
If there's any contact number or
Yeah,
any...
we are open to all that. I mean, the work is so big that we cannot do it alone. I mean, people should come on board, and it's in collaboration with the NYA, National Youth Authority, and NYE as well. I mean, they are also coming on board. So if you want to partner, sponsor 05444 11364. 05444 Come on board and let's impact lives.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Clinton Osei Addo.
Cheers to greatness.
University of Life podcast.